Hey everybody, this is Sophia Florence, one of the hosts of the Crumbling podcast, and I'm here to tell you that we have new tiers on Patreon. And I know what you're thinking. Do I want to pay more for this podcast? Hell yeah, because you're going to get some cool shit with it. Our early supporter tier is now one of the new ones. Obviously, we have the old Help Us Grow one, which is just $3 a month. That gives you access to our episodes early and gives you access to our special episodes called Crumbs. The early supporter tier, which is $6 a month, gives you early access to the episodes like the other one, gives you some exclusive behind-the-scenes content. So there could be clips, bloopers, more other things that we'll be adding to the Patreon. A physical sticker pack, which is fun and themed designs produced by our illustrator, Chris Terendi. Patreon-only updates and polls that'll help shape our future content. So that'll be really exciting if you want to kind of be more of an active participant in what we're doing here. And it's, just kind of a perfect thing for fans who want a sneak peek and exclusive goodies. There's some really fucking cool designs. I can't wait till y'all see them. If you want to go a little bit more than that, we have the super fan tier that is $20 a month. That gives you early access to all the episodes. It gives you those behind the scenes episodes and extras. It'll give you access to something that the other ones don't have, which is a limited edition t-shirt. We've got one right now. It's super cool. I am not even going to show it to you guys. Probably have more designs over the years. If you want the shirt, come get it. It's $20 a month for that. Ideal for anyone who loves merch. They want to, tell people about our podcast and they don't want to actually talk about it. Some of us are introverts. You don't want to talk about shit. You just want to be a billboard, and I'm cool with that. And also, it's the same art that's on the stickers. It is super rad, and 40% of the tiers proceeds go directly to supporting our illustrator's work. That is Chris Terendi. He's at Chris Tyrendi, Tirendi art.com. ChrisTyrendiart.com. Give it a look. I hope that some of you will join, and I hope that you will take part in some polls and tell us what you want. We want to make the content that you want within the confines of the stuff that we like to do. Please go to our Patreon, patreon.com/The Crumbling Podcast, and join today. Hi, everybody. Welcome to The Crumbling Podcast, a podcast about ghouls and ghosts. Insofar as we've mentioned Stephen Miller and talked about the specter of communism lurking over Europe, sure, but this is a podcast about our sense of reality is crumbling and maybe what we can do about it. If we save the cheerleader, we can save the world. Today, we're going to be talking about something scary, and we're going to be doing it with someone who knows a thing or two about some scary shit. She's the co-host of a podcast called Jack of All Graves, a former writer for Wisecrack.
Rest in peace, Wisecrack.
Oh man, my heart.
Shout out to Robert Evans. Shout out to the gang.
Corazón roto.
She's also a learned scholar of film and such, and just one of the coolest people on the internet. Corrigan Vaughan, how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm so excited to be here. I've listened to some of your stuff, and you all sound so much more professional than me and my co-host who say fuck a lot and talk about horror movies and whatnot. So I feel like I'm in very esteemed company right now.
That's so funny because I feel like I also say fuck a lot.
In at least in the ones that I've listened to, it feels like you at least try to sound like you know what you're talking about and less profane than we do. But, we have a good time, and I'm really excited about this episode here because this is one that gets me going when I've talked about it on my podcast, and anytime someone brings it up in regular life, it gets me going. So I'm stoked to be here and discuss with you.
Yeah, this is one of the episodes that, when we started the podcast, this was always on my list of stuff to do. But we started the podcast last October, and I wanted to tell the story of Gamergate first, and I just wanted this to be a Halloween special.
Wait, have we been doing this for a year?
We've been doing this for a year, yeah.
Happy anniversary!
Yeah, happy anniversary.
We started recording before my birthday last year, and it is now after my birthday this year.
We've been doing this for a year?
This is what happens when you get old. Every year just passes so quickly.
Oh my God.
Blink of an eye,
Oh my God, that's all right, I'm going to have to confirm with that therapy.
Davin is our youngest member.
Yeah.
That's why he's surprised by it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the baby.
You're starting to feel the wheels of time turn, and it's it's crushing.
It'll keep happening. So, have you guys ever watched any Christian movies?
Yes, I have. I've watched God's Not Dead. I've watched multiple of the God's Not Dead series, 1 through 4, I think.
Oh, because I was going to ask if you watch any of the really silly ones that talk about how God is real and people being silly for not acknowledging God. Now, everyone repents at the end and they learn their lessons, except for the bad atheists who something bad happens to, because something bad has to happen to them. They got to get cancer. So have you guys watched any movies about
exorcisms.
I think I've watched what's the one with the doll in the case? Someone in college, because everybody knows I hate scary movies. But I'm not a scary movie fan. Sophia has like slowly will give me stuff. I'm very ironic because I like the Scream franchise. The Scream franchise is actually one of my favorite movie franchises. But someone said that because that's a meta analysis, that's different. Traditionally don't like scary like jump scares. Someone goes like, "Oh, we should watch like whatever the doll one was, not Chucky. I've seen Chucky.
The Conjuring.
There we go, The Conjuring." And we watched
Annabelle.
It's whoever one is like that shitbag couple.
Oh, that's Annabelle.
They own them now.
That's Annabelle. Yeah.
I know you weren't there, but I remember that's like how I learned you loved horror movies, Sophia, because like I was saying how like I was watching this movie because I really don't like horror movies because I hate jump scares. But then I was so enraged by how dumb the movie was and how dumb everybody in the movie was that immediately my brain goes, okay, maybe I should try more horror. So I was like, I went to you, and we were like, oh, talk to Sophia. She loves horror. We just started talking about it, and then we got into the history of Black people in horror, and then from there, a friendship was born.
That's a beautiful thing. That's what I like to hear. That's a horror
Sophia
obsessive.
hears my unedited thoughts, and I feel like it terrifies her most of the time.
Davin hit the nail on the head. Yeah. We're going to be talking about Ed and Lorraine Warren, that shitbag couple, the real-life inspirations behind the absolutely not real-life The Conjuring film series, including Annabelle and The Nun, which was the only cool movie in that series. I don't know why.
I'm the only person in the world, but I actually really like Annabelle.
I liked the prequel.
That's
like Annabelle Origins or something.
Yeah, the one with like the couple, they're having a baby, and Annabelle is like in a cult. She's like in a Charlie Manson type thing. Yeah. I like that one, and that's like everyone hates that. I just watched the other day.
Good. It was the only movie in the series where people died.
True, and like, it's scary too. Like the entire time watching that, I always think like if that were me and this were happening to me, I would be terrified. Which is all I really want out of a horror movie. No, there's a lot more I want out of a horror movie, but out of a scary horror movie. That. So I like Annabelle, and it doesn't have the Warrens in it.
Yeah, it's a much better movie.
Yes.
One, I fucking hate the Warrens, and two, I feel like if you have a movie where you know no one's gonna die, the stakes are pretty low. It's like, oh, there's a ghost. It might cause some mischief.
Right.
Like then we're just watching Beetlejuice. Like I don't.
Oh yeah.
But it's not even a funny Beetlejuice.
Sure. Yeah.
So a new one of the Conjuring movies came out, and we were planning to put this episode out for Halloween. So it felt like a good time to talk about this kind of disinformation, because that's what we do talk about. And I know that a lot of people in my lovely home state of Connecticut take a lot of pride in the Warrens being from here, but it's one of the things that pisses me off the most. Like, there are a lot of unsavory things you can be, and I think the Warrens would tick a lot of those check boxes. So yes. I know... Corrigan, you're very well aware. For V and Davin, what do you know about the Warrens?
Don't they have like the supernatural museum? Okay, so I'm trying to say this politely because I don't ever like come across like I make fun of someone's like religious beliefs, but it really feels like the special type of grifter who takes advantage of maybe paranoia or like the sense where you believe in something so strongly you start to manifest it, and they feel like they inflame that and then just say, well, it's $10,000 per day for us to come out. They're like bad divorce lawyers. They're just going to drag the case out and charge you inflated prices just to leave you kind of half fucked in the end.
I love knowing that you haven't read the script, because exactly what we're going to dive into.
I feel like in our long friendship, I feel like this is the happiest I'm making you, because Corrigan, I don't ever read a script until like 2 minutes before we record, because I say my natural instincts are better. Also because sometimes I forget Sophia will send me the scripts.
Yeah, like honestly, you pretty much hit the nail on the head. There's more to it than that, but like that was an impressive summary of at least one aspect of Warren suck.
Thank you so much. They give me like the Long Island Medium vibes of like you're clearly taking advantage of this family who believes in this thing or who is desperate when it could have been anything. Maybe there are spirits. I'm Black. I don't fuck with, like, statistically most spirits are racist. Like statistically. And two, in a horror movie, I'm the first one to die unless there's another Black person there.
Not anymore. Not anymore. But yes,
I forgot we had the blackening.
Yeah, so we did have the blackening. beginnings.
Yeah, that's why. But it's very much, you guys are the definition of what grifters look like from like the limited things I've seen. And that's probably why I don't pay attention.
Yeah, you nailed it. They do in fact have a quote unquote supernatural museum. It is not open anymore because it's in a residential neighborhood in Monroe, Connecticut. It's really weird. Connecticut is one of those places where you go from a city to what feels like the middle of nowhere very quickly.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again. And it's in one of those places that feels like the middle of nowhere, but you're really 10 minutes from
Civilization.
Literally, you could just, yeah. And it will still take you a while to walk, at least. So.
Yeah. But yeah, it's in the woods out there. Monroe is a woodsy little conservative town. It's godforsaken land. And their little museum was recently bought by Matt Rife, comedian. Would you say he looks like handsome Squidward?
Yes.
Matt Rife, who is like, before all the Botox like inflated his face, like bees stung him, is like the textbook definition of like attractive guy. Like not attractive for everybody, but if you think of like, what do we colloquially think is attractive? It's him. Like kind of tall, like broad shouldered, has like chiseled features. And then the Botox now makes him look like he's dried Play-Doh or like a porcelain doll.
Yeah, it was a weird choice. I'm going to say it was a weird choice. I am not an anti-cosmetic surgery person by any stretch of the imagination, but sometimes people make weird choices, you know?
It's one of those things where someone has a Halloween costume of like a real person, but the mask is like that big head. Right. He looks like the bad guys from that one Powerpuff Girl episode who just bought the costumes of them and put it over his head.
Yes.
Like he did that with his own face.
Big leather face vibes, yeah.
It's like, your face isn't real. I don't know why you did that. I hope whatever caused you to do that is something that like is not damaging to your full health.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry I'm cooking people. I feel so bad.
No.
I'm in rare form today because I'll tell you guys off the show. Some shit happened to me. I'm like, I gotta use this energy.
Yeah, please. No, it's lovely. And I will definitely have a dare from Matt Rife at the end of the show. Probably the most insane thing I've ever said on this show. So anyway, but I want to talk about some of their most famous stories and how they compare to the movies. Let's first set the tone of who these folks even are. So the Warrens are from Bridgeport, Connecticut, 4 minutes driving from my home. And like Bridgeport is the largest city in Connecticut. It is the place where you can catch a ferry to Long Island. It is also the place where you can very easily catch a train into New York. It is no longer a Catholic enclave the way it was about 100 years ago. It is very non-white.
I didn't even know it was a Catholic enclave.
It was, yeah. All of the cities in Connecticut were. They were basically split like Catholic Europeans and people from like Latin America.
That's 100% because of the old attitudes towards Catholics. Like those are effectively like, okay, I know we said it wasn't the hood, but like back then it was the hood. Like it's still the hood. It's just it
was the hood in a very different way.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Like now it will be a nice neighborhood to raise your family if it used those old standards.
Yeah.
Now it's more of the hood.
No, I've been to Bridgeport. Shout out to Bridgeport. I've been to Bridgeport with you. Before we drove through like once or twice, I think. Like when I was hanging out with you on a random Friday.
Yeah, probably. Bridgeport's lovely. It's a good place. And
there's a lot of art stuff, like indie art stuff there that, I don't know, it's come up in the past 10 years that I know of. So
they have a nice indie theater called The Bijou. And Eamon and I, our producer, have engaged in the 48-Hour Film Project Festival for a good many years. And The Bijou tends to be where they air those films the last few years. So
sick. I didn't know that.
There's a great place next to there called Eat Noodle. And it is exactly what it sounds like. It is a place that you go and you eat noodle.
Yes, please. Say less.
Anyway, so the Warrens were both born in the 1920s. Their early years are kind of uninteresting both to read and write about, but a short story. They were married in the 40s. Ed went off to World War II. During that time, his ship sank. He went on leave. After the war ended, Ed went to art school and they started painting pictures of haunted houses. They would go to places that they heard were haunted and paint pictures of them. And they would tour around and sell those
fun.
pictures.
Like, listen, I would buy someone's haunted house pictures if they were on like Etsy or whatever,
so
you know? Like,
I have got to see these pictures as an art student. Like, I need to see him.
Yeah, if only they had stuck with that. Just like make that your lane. You know, they'd thrive.
Like, seriously, Connecticut is actually kind of known for painting stuff. Old Lyme Art Academy over in the corner of Connecticut. That and West Hartford, there was like a whole painting society. I have members of my family who were parts of that, like in the early 1900s. Like, there's lots of weird niche things that go on in Connecticut that people don't know about. And a lot of it involves the arts.
Yeah, we had a whole ass Mark Twain here.
Yep, we did. We did. We did, in fact.
He has a museum.
This is one of
Anyway,
the great things about New England. It's just full
Yes.
of this kind of lore, you know?
Yeah.
It is,
Weird
yeah.
shit And
Yes.
Cthulhu and
Yeah, but they started painting pictures of haunted houses, which is pretty cool. You know, a lot of people should stay painters and not go into the things that they do afterwards, not naming names or anything. They quickly moved towards ghost hunting shenanigans the same year, 1952, and they started a group called the New England Society for Psychic Research, or NESPR. Ed and Lorraine were devout Catholics, and Ed claimed to be the only demonologist layperson ever recognized by the church. Ed was glaringly conservative and was said to be very upset about the liberalization of the reforms to the Catholic Church that happened in the 60s, and he wanted to revive the conservative Catholicism, and what better way to do it than fear of the devil itself. And likewise, Lorraine claimed to be clairvoyant. Ghosts and shit.
This is all, it's so funny to me because Sophia, I know that you are also a former evangelical, and like all of this stuff is such like anathema to evangelical beliefs. Like this is a no-go, this whole zone, you know, like there's no, you don't have clairvoyance.
That would be called witchcraft.
Right. Yeah. That's witchcraft. You would never have this kind of thing. And obviously, like you just said, part of what they're doing is like kind of flying in the face of like Vatican II or whatever. So they're kind of going against like the Catholic Church in and of itself. But it's just wild to me coming from like a different Christian perspective to be like, oh yeah, this broad just was like, I'm a clairvoyant, what's up? And everyone's like, yeah, okay, that makes sense, sure, that's a thing we believe.
Can you just look at like the pattern? Whenever like the church becomes too liberal, the more conservative members are like, cool, you're too liberal and you're breaking the rules of this thing that I like. I would have given Lorraine some credit because I don't know about you guys, but I grew up Baptist, right? So it's not uncommon to have people communing with God and like they're speaking in tongues, they're falling out, they're just catching the spirit. That's a common practice. So if someone was
that's
like,
normal for evangelicals too.
Yeah, exactly.
Catholics, I'm like, oh, y'all are the strict, like not hoity-toity, but it's just like we don't do that type of riffraff here.
Yeah. Whoa,
and
raising
so like,
your hands? What are you doing?
I'm so apologies to my Catholic friends. It's y'all know it's true. Like there's a reason y'all like coming to my family's funerals.
It's way more fun, or weddings for that matter. You know, if we want to keep it lively, like nothing worse than a Catholic wedding. Let's be real.
Yeah.
I've now looked up some Ed Warren's paintings, and
how we doing?
Your face are saying they're more.
I'm gonna have to find a larger version of this because it's interesting.
Hmm.
I don't really.
I now need to look them up.
I can't even discern like the brush strokes or anything, or what medium this is, or anything. It's technically good.
Okay, well, that's something.
If only it stuck to that lane, you know.
Right, they could have gotten better.
Oh, yeah, these aren't so bad.
Thing. Yeah.
Some of these are bad.
Okay, yeah, I'm trying to find more than just one, and I'm like,
is it the one, the red house that you're finding?
At the red house.
I'm gonna just show you.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna show you.
Oh, please.
I'm getting a lot of the nun one. Yeah, we're looking at the same one.
Okay, but look at this. Looks like a child drew it.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't do it, but like you're right at the same time. It's just basic, you know. You're looking at these like what you would learn almost like in a Bob Ross-esque way.
Right, exactly.
Like if you were learning to paint for the first time, these are the kinds of paintings that you would do.
I've just seen this one of the ones, he actually has a pretty good grasp of color theory.
Unfortunately, his lane was very bad.
Yeah, Lorraine was very serious about the whole Catholicism thing, and there's an interview in the Irish Independent here.
Miss Warren said that it was her belief that a lack of religion was often what opened the door for malevolent forces to enter a home or life. Quoting Lorraine, where there's no religion, it's absolutely terrifying. That is your protection. God is your protection. It doesn't matter what your religion is.
Oh, I've heard that so many. She would be a good fit in with some aunties I know.
Oh boy.
Let's go to the year 1968. Horror classic Rosemary's Baby gets released. And it's also somewhat conveniently 5 years after the airing of the Twilight Zone episode, The Living Doll. Oh my God, it's all falling into place. In which a woman named Annabelle, you're fucking kidding me.
I know. Keep going. Keep going.
My blood pressure. This podcast is the reason why my doctor has concerns for me. And my cat. Okay, the Twilight Zone episode, The Living Doll, in which a woman named Annabelle and her family are haunted by a doll named Talkie Tina. In this year, sort of, the Warrens claim to have received the famous Annabelle doll, which is not one of the creepy movie, but a literally Raggedy Ann doll. If you've never seen one of these, look it up. They're creepy, but not on that level. However, Ed, Lorraine, their biographer Gerald Brittle, and their stepson Tony Spera, who was recently depicted in the newest Conjuring movie, have made a variety of claims about how they came into the doll, and none of them line up appropriately. They got it from a nursing student who was 28 named Donna, but also a younger than that and named Deirdre. The first haunting involved doll moving around the house by itself. But also in the first haunting, someone just brought it to the breakfast table a few times and its arm moved. They got it in 1968, but they also got it in 1971 after the nursing student got it in 1970. In fact, their own website has 3 of those years on it. Give your fucking story straight if you're going to grift.
Yeah,
oh my God.
You really can't get it straight. It's so funny. Doing research for this was the funniest thing ever.
I have my opinion. I'll finish my passage. Apologies, audience, for this. I have a large iced coffee near me. Coming back to the present, after Matt Rife bought the place, he was also put on blast by Chris McKinnell, the grandson of the Warrens and the son of their daughter, Judy Spera, who's supposedly wanting to tour with the doll. Chris said the following about Rife: "But then he started wanting to bring this thing on tour. And that to me was so dangerous. Such a betrayal of everything my grandparents spent their lives doing." The only problem with that is in November 7th, 2022, article in Religion Dispatches titled "Paranormal Vodka Exorcist and a Demonic Doll. Welcome to the Paracon." Trash title. They need to.
It's too long.
Wordy.
Yeah, oh my God, there's more to.
Yeah, there's more to that title.
Oh my
Audience,
God.
this is the full title: Paranormal Vodka, Exorcist, and a Demonic Doll. Welcome to Paracon. If they stop there, it just needs some workshop.
Right. Yeah.
Here's the rest of the title, comma. Capital B, based on the work of the demon hunters who inspired the Conjuring series.
What is the opposite of clickbait? I think that's what that is.
Yeah.
When you're so bored halfway through the title, you're like, no, I'm not reading that under any circumstance.
Nope, exactly.
That person had to hit a word count or their boss was going to bitch slap them.
Right.
And they said, I can't fit anything more in this article. I've already exhausted all like extended sentences, like when one word would suffice. Oh, I know. He's going to count the article title. Anyway, that long ass title in that article, that longest title, it places the doll at the Mohegan Sun Casino, courtesy of Judy Spera's husband, Tony Spera, who was operating the Warrens Occult Museum until very recently. As far as the real story goes, well, there are assorted stories. Most of them are still contradictory and none of them have anything to do with the movie. It's just genuinely made up. Okay, I am going to give the Warrens a little bit of credit. It's going to sound weird, right? We live in an age now of like grifters where I think anybody like sees like, oh, I can become a grifter. I just need to have like this bullshit story. I feel like there's nothing in this so far to make me doubt like their adherence to their religion. If that's true, they were probably only trying to get into like a religious audience to stir up that fervor again. It's probably not, if you come out with a claim, you're going to have 50,000 people. Like if you get eyes on you, you're going to have like 10 assholes who think they know more than you. 2 of them are at least going to be crunchy parents. They're going to attack you in such a way that they're going to make it sound like your story is inconsistent because you're like, bro, I've told this 15 times. Fuck you. Like, just go listen to that recording. Probably the money started flowing in and they're like, cool, we got to keep this shit up. When did you find the doll again? It was like 1971. Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, somewhere in there. And there's no
house.
internet. I feel like that's kind of one of the key things about all of this is that the ability to fact check anything that they were saying was so limited. So like they could say whatever the hell they wanted, you know, in a TV appearance versus a speaking appearance versus a book versus blah, 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 blah. And no one was like matching those up, right? Like, I mean, there were people who were pointing out the inconsistencies from the jump, but like not like now where you would be like everyone would be pulling this apart.
There's not 15 YouTube channels dedicated to debunking bomb.
Right.
Also, just gotta say it, maybe they were just a little too soon for their time. Maybe if they had Discovery Channel, if like the TV and Discovery Channel was thing, they would have 15 spin-offs where they're like going across just dilapidated houses in Detroit. Like shaking the camera weirdly.
In a world where Zach Bagans exists, they would absolutely crush.
Like, they're consultants on like a Scooby-Doo movie. Like they're a funny, like we probably like them a lot more. And then we learn about their politics. Like that's probably the thing.
What?
Yeah.
I guess Warren had just taken up a thing as a, paranormal stuff illustrator, like a book illustrator. He would have done great.
Yeah.
Instead of,
I do think though that even now, like every now and again, I'll watch this guy on YouTube who likes to debunk ghost videos or whatever. I'm not a paranormal believer or things like that. I kind of came of the opinion that once I left evangelicalism, I didn't want to replace it with anything else. And so I'm not a supernatural believer or anything like that. But I love ghosty things in a like fictional sense, just like someone would like zombies and, whatever stuff like that. Great. Like the vibe is great. I love ghosty things. And so I'll watch this guy debunk ghost videos. And I think one of the things that is fascinating is that oftentimes like people double down when you debunk something anyway, they just believe it harder. And to your point, like things like on Discovery Channel, on Travel Channel, History Channel, all the ancient aliens, the blah, blah, blah. The more you tell people that shit isn't real, the more they cling on to it. Now tell them it's also connected to your belief in God. And like now this is like your whole being that is wrapped up. And maybe we're putting the cart before the horse here because we haven't even really gotten into the Catholicism angle to its full depth. But I think there is, like you're saying, a place for them in the landscape that we have now.
It's like in another world, they are celebrated authors.
They were.
No. Like celebrated for like they didn't have a bullshit movie and make money off people's fear and pain, and like wanting to hurt people. They like came up with a cool, great story. Like in a world, they're having dinner with Stephen King, like heralded as like horror and thriller authors, and they're making like airport media with the tens of millions of dollars. They're sitting there. And then we learn about their terrible politics and how mediocre the books are. They're James Patterson in another world, is what I'm trying to say. There's a bunch of there's like 2 James Patterson fans who are going to like want to attack me. He writes real mediocre shit, y'all. He
doesn't even write the mediocre shit.
Doesn't write him. Like, sorry, that's my caffeine fueled rant.
Now we can jump ahead a bit to one of the first big things on their list, a case widely known as the Amityville Horror. Ooh, spooky.
That's another movie I like that nobody else likes.
I weirdly like the remake a lot.
I only saw that for the first time like 2 months ago. Well, maybe a little more than that. But mostly what I take from that is just Ryan Reynolds' inguinal crease more than anything else. Just a lot of Ryan Reynolds' body in that film.
And let's talk on for a little bit.
Just go ahead and give that a little Google. Ryan Reynolds' Amityville.
I gave up carbs to get this V. Y'all going to see
You're going to see that shit. He is just in like pajama pants for like half of that movie. It just,
I promise you, and this is probably going to go into like male desirability when I do my episode on it. I promise you, I am one of those people, if I ever like get like, if my ab workouts keep working and I have like that like big dude, like, oh, you're a former like weightlifter 6-pack, I'm not wearing a shirt either.
No, absolutely
I don't judge people who do that. If you have a hot body,
you gotta let it out.
You work into that body and you have to give up like good food like carbs and Oreos for it. Like obnoxiously take your shirt off.
100%.
Like, slow-mo run. Like, I'm not going to judge you.
Here.
Also, for those of our listeners who don't know this, the inguinal crease has another, more common colloquial name, very scientific term still. It is cum gutters.
Well,
and now you can keep talking about the Amityville.
I will be done.
Go on.
Right through. All right. So the story starts with something verifiably true, sort of. A man named Ron DeFeo killed a bunch of his family members in 1974 in the family home in Amityville, Long Island. A little over a year later, the married couple, George and Kathy Lutz, as well as 3 of Kathy's children from her previous marriage, moved into the house. Within a month, they had fled the house, claiming to be experiencing the paranormal there. The story that they told was written in a book by the author Jay Anson, which spawned a number of movies and was also likely entirely bullshit. The Lutz family claimed to have heard strange sounds like doors slamming, bed shaking, and smelled strange odors. George even claimed that he saw his wife turn into a 90-year-old woman, and also that she levitated.
That'll happen.
Yeah.
To my understanding.
They claimed that due to the murders happening there, they had a priest come in and give the house an exorcism while they were moving in. Why didn't they just bulldoze the house, actually? Shit. Like,
well, I do think you should probably take a few steps before you bulldoze your new house, I would say.
No, I was thinking,
first.
like, if murders happened in a house, like, I know you're supposed to technically disclose it when you, like, sell the house, but I'm suddenly thinking, like, technically that's where people died. Why don't they just bulldoze the house? I don't know. Maybe,
they very much knew that murders happened in this house before moving in.
Yes, 1000%.
Why would you do this?
I gotta
it's
use
like
my
moving
whole
into a repurposed funeral parlor, okay? Like, that's not...
I grew up in front of a cemetery, so I would do this, no problem.
Okay.
That's white people shit. I'm so sorry. They didn't have a good black friend.
Whoa,
racial tensions were
hold
so
on.
high.
Have you ever read the graphic novel Fun Home?
No, what? Why
That's
is it
Alison
parody?
Bechdel, right?
Yes, it is Alison Bechdel. Yes,
A Bechdel just name?
Yes, her of the Bechdel.
I know things.
Yes, you do. Good job, Himbo. Good job.
That's got to be our branding for the show. I've been an AI. I've been like an unnamed co-host. I've been a himbo in charge of the show.
Devin the Himbo.
Bio, you're referred to as an international man of mystery, so.
Same vibe.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, and leisure.
Sorry.
Man of mystery and leisure. Fun Home is about Alison Bechdel and her life living in a funeral home.
Yes.
And her dad and like all kinds of stuff. Despite that, in a signed affidavit, the priest in question admitted his only interaction with them was over the phone. He later contradicted his story and appeared to go along with the Lutz family for reasons that we really can't understand. While the Warrens made a televised visit in 1976 and were adamant that the house was haunted, a circular firing squad of lawsuits and nonsense between the Lutz family, Bernard Burton, a claimed clairvoyant, Frederick Martin, another claimed clairvoyant, Good Housekeeping magazine, the Hearst Corporation, another writer named Paul Hoffman, William Weber, who was Ron DeFeo's lawyer, and the Cromartie family, who had bought the houses after the Lutz had abandoned it. It revealed a lot of the nonsense at the bottom of it all. Weber admitted to conspiring with the Lutzes, quote, over many bottles of wine, to write the book with Anson. During the trial for the Cromartie suit against the Lutzes and Anson, the Lutzes admitted that the entire thing was fabricated, although they've gone on to say in public that it was not after that. Basically, it's a big mess and grift upon grift upon grift. The Lutzes have since passed, but not before trying to sue over the 2005 remake of Amityville starring Ryan Reynolds, who kills his dog in the film. What the fuck? They were really mad about that.
As are we.
Like, literally, I have long conversations with my friends. Like, okay, does the dog die in the film? If it like any film, I have to ask because
there's a whole website for that. It's like doesthedogdie.com. Yeah.
I think that the dog dying adds stakes to the movie sometimes.
Yeah, understand.
Or like a cat. And like, I hate it, but I'm also like, okay, yes.
It sure is a shortcut to getting you like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like Smile. I wasn't sold on Smile until she had given her dead cat in a box to her niece. And then I was like, wow, this is fucked.
Jeez, wow.
But on this, like, this just ridiculous battle over the Amityville house, I think the details of this are so like funny when it gets down to it. Like the priest who they're like, oh yeah, he fled from the house and blah, 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 blah. And he like later on was like, no, I wasn't even there. I don't know what you're talking about. Or like they claimed to see like footsteps in the snow and there was no snow at this time of year. And there was like, they claimed, you know, all kinds of things like doors being beaten down and blah, blah, blah. And it was like the door had like all of its original like hinges and things like that on it. Nothing had ever been broken. Just such clear things that you could just walk up to the house and be like, oh, nothing fucking happened here. They just went along with it. And people, this is what always gets me. We have access to this information now. Now we can look this up. If in the 1970s you believed them, fine. But in 2025, when you can read this, it's crazy to me that people are still like, that happened. That's definitely
you can pull
real.
up, the transcripts for some of these lawsuits, and it's batshit.
Yeah, like the author was straight up like, they just told me to make up a good story.
Yeah. Yeah, and that happens with a number of authors that work with the Warrens.
It's like, hey man, I was paid a lot to like do this. So
right.
I have bills.
Their whole thing.
Yeah, and they then have no obligation to like not say that later on too. Like it's not like the author signed an NDA, like, and you can never say that this was fictional. It's like, no, once that came up, he's like, yeah, I fabricated that.
Yeah,
That's what they told me to do.
Because if I was going to get someone to fabricate something, I would get them to sign it.
It's like such a low effort grift. It's insulting.
The crazy thing is, like, they would do like ghost hunting classes in Connecticut, and like I know people that had gone to them. Like I had one as a roommate many years ago, and he was like, "I'm a ghost hunter. I got trained by the Warrens. Like, here's my EMF reader that I paid $2,000 for."
Yeah, it gives you credibility. Like,
oh my god. Yo,
come on.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm adding that to the list. So Corey, you haven't met me, but I have a list of jobs that are like too unredeemable for me to do, like the grift. The first one's like black conservative.
Yeah,
the next
definitely.
one's like a science person saying Big Pharma's lying to you.
Sure.
Ghost hunter. Just this is now on the list because $2,000 for a class. Are you right?
It's so transparent.
What's the governing? But I now need to know what the conversation is, right? Because like I work in an industry that's regulated, and there's like tons of certifications, and you're like, no, we're certified by this body. Who the fuck is the certification body?
Well, NESPR, obviously.
Yeah,
NESPR is
I think
the
they're
body.
the certification body because they were kind of the OGs at doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, I'm not going to lie. I've listened to way too much like Jay-Z to not respect a scammer.
Circular, just straight into built it.
You said not only are we going to run the classes, we're going to run the certification board.
Yeah.
You know what? I know I'm supposed to dislike the Warrens. I respect this kid. I respect it.
You just have to actually respect the level of work that people put into these schemes. Like you can't respect the people, but you can respect the level of work.
And it's if it stops at like paranormal grift, then fine. A fool and his money, right? Like easily parted. Like that. You can steal money from doofuses who pay for that stuff all day long, right? You have a choice about how you spend your money. So like that element of them is honestly the least offensive element of the Warrens. Like, fine, if people are going to, waste their money on this nonsense, okay. It just is worse in other elements.
Yeah, it gets worse. It'll get worse. Getting back to lawsuits regarding the Warrens, we'll turn shortly to the inspiration for one of the movies in the Conjuring series called The Devil Made Me Do It. This was about the Arne Cheyenne Johnson case. It took place back in Fairfield County, Connecticut again in 1981 in the little town of Brookfield outside of Danbury, which is notable for being a city where people used to make hats and having a sewage treatment plant named after John Oliver.
What?
Yeah, it was a thing. John Oliver made a bunch of jokes about Danbury, and it's like such an odd place to like talk shit about because like Danbury's fine.
Yeah,
it's a good place to get Brazilian food. I don't know why there's like a million Brazilians in Danbury. It's just a thing. Pau de Queijo or something, like that's where you go. But John Oliver made some jokes about Danbury. The Danbury mayor was like, "Screw you," and John Oliver was like, "I will donate a bunch of money to Danbury if you put my name on the sewage treatment facility."
Beautiful.
And so now it is the John Oliver Memorial Sewage Treatment Facility.
I
love it.
Love when like local small politicians get in beefs with celebrities.
Yes.
Like the mayor of Gary, Indiana almost had beef with Joe Budden. Freddie Gibbs facilitated it. I will explain it on Crumbs because it was hilarious to watch.
Oh my God.
And as far as you don't know, Gary, Indiana is not a place you want war with.
No. Yeah. It's like the worst place in America, like famously.
Yeah. It's like, this is where Michael Jackson grew up, and people are like, oh, this must be such a nice place. And people are like, no, Gary, Indiana, if you made out of Gary, you're probably the toughest person in your immediate circle, unless you're up with other people from Gary.
Yeah.
Gary, I want no smoke.
There's a song after Gary, Indiana.
Yeah. It makes it sound so quaint, doesn't it? Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah. Gary, Indiana.
Huh.
Gary.
Yep.
I had no idea. Anyway, back to Arne Cheyenne Johnson. So Arne killed his landlord, Alan Bono, no relation, in a bit of a scuffle caused by Alan being able to drink drunk, according to witness testimony. Nothing odd there. Arne was living with his girlfriend, Debbie Glatzel, at the time, who claims, along with Arne himself and the Warrens, that her brother David had been giving an exorcism a short time before the killing occurred. They claimed that, during the exorcism, Arne coaxed a demon to enter him, which definitely, most assuredly, and would not be lying about this, caused him to kill their drunk dickhead landlord. That's definitely how that works. An attorney from my home city of Waterbury, Connecticut, famous for poverty. Martin Manila tried testing that claim out in court. This is depicted in the movie where Ed gets big mad that people have to swear on the Bible in court, but that they don't believe the devil could be a good reason for a crime. Johnson, of course, did not do well in court and was convicted of manslaughter, serving 4 years and 11 months behind bars, which I guess is not that much for...
Yeah, for killing a guy.
That's not bad. Like, I'm not going to say that.
Well, okay, this is my dumb question. I would hate my dumbass lawyer, because if there's a person, if there's a like person who gets it, like accidentally kills a person, and that person was drunk and fighting them, that feels like a very like
a stand your groundy kind of thing. Yeah, self-defense.
They would get off scot-free. But I'm like, it's an easier case to make if if person B was drunk and attacking you and you have witnesses, as opposed, because like the whole devil story just makes it sound like you're trying to hide some shit and you think we're dumb.
Well, and this is what happens when you let Catholic grifters get in the way of your defense, and convince you that you were, taken over by the devil.
Like, statistically in America, how many people get in drunk bar fights? Something bad happens and the judge goes, no, the person who was drunk is clearly the aggressor. Right. You're going to have some, I'm not saying he would have got it off again or got on the jail, but it's like probably for a year or maybe probation or something.
Johnson also admitted being drunk during that altercation.
So I'm going to retract. Back in the air?
The judge basically told the lawyer, Manila, he was like, listen, man, no, we're not doing that here. This is ridiculous. We will try this case on normal terms. And if you want to make another defense, you can. And that's why they went with a self-defense kind of thing. And that's why he only served 5 years out of the 20 years he was sentenced to. So Carl Glatzel Jr., David and Debbie's brother, as well as David himself, sued Lorraine Warren and the Warrens' biographer, Gerard Brittle, previously mentioned, over Brittle's book on the events. According to Carl Jr., their mother and the rest of their family were coached by the Warrens on what to say to make it seem like David was possessed. Reading from AP here.
Carl Glatzel has said that the Warrens exploited his family for monetary gain. He told the Associated Press in 2007 that his brother had suffered from mental illness as a child, but has now recovered. It was living hell when we were kids, Glatzel told AP later that year. It was just a nightmare. I'm not going to go through that again. Neither is my brother.
See, now we're past the point of normal grift and we're onto the point of exploiting the mentally ill.
Yeah, that's not good.
And helping them defend murder. And it'll get worse though.
Yes, right. It's not, again, somehow not the worst thing. But, this is, it very much is that point of like now, I mean, obviously this is what the history of exorcism and stuff is, right? It's, people who are suffering from mental illness and things like that. And people not knowing what to do with that or refusing to believe mental illness existed, being like, we'll just get the demon out of them and everything will be A-okay. And like, that's what they come in and do here to like the point where I think, this guy, he was like 30-ish when this happened. And it's like, they say that's a lot of times like in your like late 20s-ish is when things like schizophrenia come on. And it's like, he should have been going to like a doctor. Instead, they're like, don't worry, we brought the fucking Warrens in. We don't need a doctor. It's fine. That'll do it.
There's a lot of that stuff. And, faith healing. Yeah, that there's a nexus there to be explored, unfortunately.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, not for nothing, the Danbury area is known for people being a little unhinged around there. They were a city where they made hats for a long time, and there is mercury everywhere.
Yeah. That'll do it. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I don't know if that made them crazy,
mercury in the hats?
That's why the Mad Hatter is mad in Alice in Wonderland, because of the mercury in the hats.
How do I not know these things? I'm a collector of whack facts, and this is like completely something I did not know.
Here's your rabbit hole for later.
You are not kidding. Like this is my like the rest of my evening.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, audience. This is Sophia. I'm recording this to let you know that we couldn't shut the fuck up, and so the episode ran into 2 episodes, and we thought we were going to do one, and we just kept rolling along. And so, you get a bonus episode, but also, here's the pause in the episodes. You're going to have to wait till next time. Bye.